All right. And today we're joined by Norine Cantor. She's running for second vice chair heading into the Republican State Convention. Norine, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, Norine, tell us where you're from and what congressional district you belong to.
I am in Flowery Branch, Georgia. I am in Congressional District 7 now. I used to be in 9, but they redistrict, so now I'm in 7.
Great. And hey, one of the things we always do at Editorial Interchange, we always ask the people we interview because we love supporting our local economies. We love to ask people to do a shout out for a local business in their area. Do you have one?
I absolutely do. It's Jessica Lynn's Creations. She makes natural hand lotion, body butter. As you can see, I use a lot of it, but it helps with wrinkles, keeping your skin clear, and it's all natural. She's got lotions, and you can go to jessicacreations.com and get some good stuff, natural stuff. It's amazing.
Excellent. Well, if you're in need, you know where to find it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Hey, one of the things that we're talking about going into the convention, what got you interested in state politics of all things?
State politics. Interested. That's an interesting word.
Or were
I
you
had
or were you dragged into it, Noreen? Yeah, we'll let you do it either way.
no. I've been in politics for an awful long time, and I ran last year for House District 30 against my rep, which is a 37 voting score. So I wanted to take a rhino out, but it didn't work. But people understood what a voting score was. So that, I did a little bit of good. So a friend of mine, about, 5 months ago now, she came up to me and she said, "Are you going to run?" I said, "No, I'm not doing that again." And she says, "Yeah, you are." And I says, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, you're going to run for second vice chair of state." And I looked at her like she was crazy. I says, "I'm not getting involved in that mess." Here I am.
Well, I've got to ask. I looked at your web. Well, it wasn't a website; it was an ad. I think that you had on Facebook, and the slogan was "No nonsense, just Noreen." Tell us
That's
what
me.
that. Tell us what that means.
I am what you see. I don't hide anything. I'm very transparent. And if you ask me a question, you'll get the answer. If you don't like it, well, sorry. It's just what I believe in, and I'm not going to change it. So I'm just very straightforward, and you always know where I stand.
What personal skill set would you bring to the executive committee of the Georgia Party?
Well, I've worked on many campaigns, so I know how to run campaigns. I've worked with grassroots and all levels. I've run grassroots team. I also attended the Leadership Institute on grassroots, so I understand how to build them from the ground up. Um, Recruit them. There's a lot of people out there that might want to run for office, but they don't know where to start. So I would be a good resource for them and then help them, train them. You have to vet them and make sure they're totally America First candidates because we don't need any more rhinos. So then you would help them, support them any way you can. Hopefully they win office. And then here's a big one: hold them accountable. If they sign the pledge that they're going to do what they're supposed to do in the Republican Party, hold them accountable. If they don't do it, primary them, put somebody else that will.
And we know that the second vice chair doesn't have any specific duties listed. You kind of work at the pleasure of the chairman.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you think that you would like to take on as a project? I think you kind of started that with your last answer, but
Yeah, I would love to be involved with grassroots because 2026 is a big election year. I mean, we have the Senate, we have to get rid of Ossoff, and all our constitutional offices are up for election. So we all need to get boots on the ground and do whatever we can to make sure Ossoff gets out and all our constitutional offices stay Republican. Not Rhino Republican, but true America grassroots.
and when you say Rhino Republican and true Republican grassroots, define what you think makes up the true Republican grassroots category that you're talking about. What
Okay.
what makes that person a true Republican?
Okay, you have to be America first, grassroots. You have to care about we the people. And plus they have to have good morals and values and standards that can't be compromised, because too many people go down to the Capitol and they get a little taste of money and power, and they're bought off, so they vote whichever way the wind blows or whichever way they're told to blow. So a true grassroots conservative America first candidate would stand strong and not succumb to all that crap that happens down there.
Well, hey, tell us on a personal note, tell us about who is the most influential person in your life.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Let me think about that one for 1 second. Well, I loved Ronald Reagan. I mean, I loved his speeches. He was an amazing president. But now we have Donald J. Trump, and he is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. He speaks his mind. He does what he does, and he doesn't care what people think. And that to me is totally amazing. So that, and then I love John Adams. Back in the founding father, he was amazing. He got out and he did something to make things better against everybody's, don't do that, don't do that. So he stood strong, even if it was by himself, and that's amazing.
Those powerful figures are the ones that are willing to take the stands all throughout our history are the ones that really make a mark, don't they?
Absolutely. You have to be able to stand on your morals and principles, even if you have to stand alone.
Well, hey, what is your most cherished childhood memory?
Oh my goodness. I saw you ask Lisa that and I started thinking about it. Well, the one that always comes to my mind is when we were little, both of my brothers were in Vietnam at the same time. So my mom kept saying, if there's a knock at the door, don't answer it. So we were all freaked out. So then my brothers called the next day and said, we're coming home for Christmas. And we've always had a really fake tree. And they said, you better go out and you better go buy the biggest real tree you can imagine. So we bought this huge tree. And they both got to come home for Christmas, and we hadn't seen them in like 2 years. So that was amazing. But the funny thing about it is my sister and I got to wear their flight suits, and my brother wanted a bath. So he went and started his bath. Well, he hated bubbles, but me being me, I put bubbles in him. Guess who ended up in the tub?
That's a good story. Very good.
Thank you.
And we appreciate their service to the country as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, give me some ideas where you think the party needs to improve on the state level.
Oh, you really want me to go there? Okay.
Yes.
We need transparency. We don't know anything that's going on down there. We don't know the financials. We don't know anything. There's been no communication whatsoever. Integrity. There's no integrity down there. None at all. I mean, it's fallen apart. And the current chairman, all he cares about is where his next election is going to be. So he really don't care about we the people. He may care about his people, the establishment, but he doesn't care about the grassroots. So we need transparency, integrity, and more true grassroots in the Georgia GOP.
Have you identified any areas that the Republican Party on the state level is doing something right?
Something right. Let me think. No, because none of the good bills got passed. And if they're really influential, they should have made sure like the election bills got passed and we got paper ballots and stuff like that. But nothing really got passed that was good for us this last session. I mean, it's like they don't really care about we the people there. We have 2 or 3, maybe 4 down there that actually care about we the people. But everybody else votes how they're paid to vote. My rep is a yes man, so he votes yes on everything and doesn't even read the bills.
Given us. Oh, go ahead, hon.
I'm just saying. So I don't really know if I can tell you anything good, other than having David Cross as second vice chair.
Well, let me ask you this. You've given us a good idea of what you expect from your Republican elected officials. Um,
Absolutely.
but tell us this. I'm going to twist it a little bit. Um,
Okay.
how do you determine when you have several candidates who are running as Republicans in a particular race? What do you do to determine what kind of elected official they would be?
You would vet them. And I don't mean just how are you going to vote on this? You actually vet them, their background. And if they've been in office, you take their votes and you say, okay, why did you vote this way? Why did you vote this way? So if they've run for office, it's going to be easier to vet them. But somebody that hasn't run for office, it's kind of, well, you got to take them at their word until they have some record. So vetting is the key.
Do you look for, prior, still let's just say they haven't had an office. Are you looking for prior participation in the party, or they've taken somewhat of a community activist role? What do you kind of look for with somebody who has no previous political experience?
Um, you would look if they're involved in the party, if they've had leadership positions, and if they're community orientated. You would reach out to people and say, "Hey, what about this person?" Because people are going to tell you the truth that they don't like somebody. So you have to reach out to people if they've never been in office, but you thoroughly got to vet them with their leadership skills, their personal skills, everything. So I would reach out to people that have either worked with them under them or has been in groups with them.
Um, we're heading into a midterm election.
Hmm.
Midterm elections always kind of a chaotic time because it generally swings away from the president that's in office.
Right.
So, with all that being said, what would you consider? What would be your definition for success for the Georgia Republican Party heading towards the midterm elections?
Get rid of Ossoff
That would be
and
your.
put it absolutely, absolutely. And we have to keep the House and the Senate. We cannot flip any seats. We have to keep Trump with his House and Senate because the minute that the House is flipped, they're going to start impeachment on him. I mean, day one. So we've got to make sure we keep the House, and Georgia has to get rid of their Democrat senators because they're just plain evil.
And what would you expect the party to do heading into the midterms?
Oh, I would expect the party to help all counties, help them train them how to canvass, how to phone bank, how to get involved in the elections, how to get voters signed up to vote. There would be a major drive to help get Republicans to vote because right now people go, my vote's not going to count anymore because the election was stolen in 2020 and people need election integrity. So that's why I feel so strong about paper ballots, one day voting, strong voter ID, and hand counting. And no machines, no excuses, because these machines are stealing our elections.
Yeah, we actually have done a special interview with Garland Favorito on the election machine history and everything. It hasn't come out yet; it's in post production. But when that comes out, it will show the public a lot of what has transpired with those machines. It's not a pretty story.
No, it's not.
Um, who do you identify with? I think I know, but I'm going to ask you the question anyway. Who do you identify with in the chairman's race? Because it's become kind of tribal.
That's a mild word. It's outright war.
So
It's
tell us
crazy.
who you identify with and why.
Oh, David Cross, absolutely. He has integrity. He wants to be transparent. He wants to get meetings back in. They haven't had a meeting in a long time. We just have to get everything on board again because there's no communication, there's nothing. And David handles a lot of money. So he's got a lot of integrity. I've known him for a while. He is a very good guy, and I'm glad he stepped up to run.
Well, we've covered a lot of different issues,
Hmm.
gone a little bit all over the map.
Okay.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you or we haven't talked about that you would like to tell people viewing this video about your candidacy, what you'd like to do?
Well, um, we need to build up the grassroots. I mean, that's kind of a passion of mine. And we need to get the whole state involved. We need boots on the ground and this summer, actually. We need to start now, but we need to get boots on the ground. We need to get all counties involved in the election. I mean, everybody has to be involved because this election is going to make or break Georgia. And we have to keep it red because it's going to turn blue. And I'm afraid that if we don't get involved, we're going to have a Democrat for a governor, and we might even lose the Senate too. So we all have to work together.
So if anybody who's a delegate wants to look at your platform that you're running for the state convention, how would they find you? What sites, what emails, what would you prefer they do to find you?
Well, I have my website, NorineForGeorgia.com, and I think you have to put the www.http in front of it. And then my email is nhcantor58@gmail.com. And I don't care. They can have my phone number too. It's 678-780-6402.
Awesome. Well, anything else that you'd like to bring up? This is your opportunity.
All right. I am Norine Cantor. I am running for the Georgia State second vice chair. We need integrity. We need transparency. We need grassroots. I am America First, grassroots, Trump supporting candidate with integrity.
All right. Candidate Norine Cantor, we really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the interview with candidate Norine Cantor. She's heading into the state convention, and we're excited that all the delegates are getting longer form interviews. They'll actually know where these people stand on a lot of different aspects of the Republican Party. If you enjoy the programming, please please subscribe, and please share it with all your friends, especially people that you know are delegates to the state convention. It would be great if you would share all of these interviews, and you can find them on all the social media platforms. And if you want to do a 3-minute short clip on an issue that you're just hot and heavy about, go to editorialinterchange.net and send us your pitch on something you'd like to do. And we give you a free 3-minute short clip that we will post on our channel on any issue that you'd like to do. Just send us your pitch. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next interview.